My landlord, a penny-pinching tyrant named Mr. Finch, sent me an email with 7 words that he thought would save him a few $100s. The apartment must be spotlessly clean. He was trying to steal my $2,000 security deposit. He had no idea that those 7 words, his own words, were a legally binding contract that I was about to use to destroy him. If you have ever been screwed over by a landlord, a boss, or anyone in a position of power who thought the rules didn't apply to them, then you know the battle we are fighting. Welcome to Hearts in Uniform. This is the place where we believe in fighting for what's right with integrity and honor, no matter the battlefield. Show your support for clever justice by hitting that like button and subscribe so you never miss a story of the powerful getting what they deserve. Now, let me tell you how a simple cleaning job turned into the most expensive mistake of my landlord's life. My name is Leo. For 2 years, I lived in apartment 4B. It was a decent place, but it was lorded over by the greediest man I've ever met, Mr. Finch. He was a slumlord who dressed like a CEO. He'd drive his shiny new Mercedes to the building once a month to collect checks and complain about scuff marks on the hallway walls. The building's super, a kind old man named George, was constantly apologizing for Finch's behavior. My neighbors, a young couple named Maria and Ben, had been fighting him for 6 months over a leaky pipe. That was the kind of man he was. I was a model tenant, rent always on time, never a complaint. So when my girlfriend Clara and I decided to move in together, I expected a smooth process. I gave my 60-day notice. I followed all the rules. A week before my move-out date, I received the email. It was a checklist of my duties. The last line was highlighted in red. The apartment must be spotlessly clean or the security deposit will be forfeited in its entirety for professional cleaning fees. I wasn't worried. I'm a clean person. My buddies, Mike and Tom, helped me move out. We spent an entire day cleaning. We scrubbed the floors, wiped the counters, cleaned the bathroom until it sparkled. It was cleaner than when I moved in. I scheduled the final walkthrough with Mr. Finch. He walked in, didn't even say hello, and immediately started finding flaws. He ran a white-gloved finger over a windowsill. "Dust," he declared. He pointed to a tiny, faded mark on the carpet. "Stain." He shined his phone flashlight inside the oven. Grease, residue. It was a sham, a performance. He had no intention of giving me my deposit back. He finished his charade and smirked. "This is not spotlessly clean, Leo. I'm afraid I'll have to keep the full deposit." I felt that hot, helpless rage bubble up, but then I remembered a conversation with my lawyer friend, Dan. He'd once told me that the words in a contract are a two-edged sword, and Finch had just handed me the handle. I looked at him, my anger cooling into a strange, calm resolve. "You're right, Mr. Finch," I said. "This isn't spotlessly clean. I must have misunderstood the standard. I'll handle it." His smirk widened. He thought he'd won. He left. The next day, I didn't just clean the apartment. I declared war on dirt. You see, for 3 years in college, I paid my tuition by working for a professional biohazard and crime scene cleanup company. I knew a level of clean that Mr. Finch couldn't possibly comprehend. I called my old boss, a grizzled veteran of sanitation named Sal, and asked if I could rent some equipment for the weekend. He laughed when I told him the story and gave me the friends and family rate. I returned to apartment 4B, dressed in a full-body Tyvek suit, respirator, and goggles. I sealed the apartment with plastic sheeting. For 48 hours, I performed a deep, forensic-level cleaning. I used industrial-grade solvents to remove that stain on the carpet, along with every other microscopic impurity. I steam cleaned not just the walls, but the ceilings. I used specialized tools to clean the inside of the air vents. I didn't just clean the oven, I disassembled the door and cleaned the glass inside and out. I polished every fixture, sanitized every surface, and ran an ozone generator for 3 hours to eliminate any and all odors, leaving the air sterile. When I was done, the apartment wasn't just clean. It was an operating room. It was a work of art. And I documented everything. I took hundreds of high-resolution photos. I recorded video with timestamps. I kept receipts for every chemical, every rental, every piece of plastic sheeting. Then I prepared my invoice. I billed Mr. Finch for 20 hours of specialized decontamination and deep cleaning services at my old professional rate of $150 an hour. Total, $3,000. I mailed it to him via certified mail, along with a letter. It read, "Dear Mr. Finch, per your written directive, I have ensured the apartment is spotlessly clean to a professional standard. Please find my invoice for these services attached. Once you have paid the invoice, you can deduct the $2,000 security deposit you owe me and send me a check for the remaining $1,000. You have 30 days. A week later, I got a furious voicemail. It was 10 minutes of him screaming, calling me an extortionist, threatening to sue me into oblivion. He was so blinded by his rage, he didn't realize he was admitting on a recording that he had refused to return my deposit. I didn't answer. I just forwarded the voicemail to my lawyer friend, Dan. Dan drafted a formal letter to Finch's lawyer guy named Mr. Peterson explaining that we were prepared to take this to small claims court, where we would present the email directive, the invoice, the photo evidence, and the recorded voicemail as proof of a bad faith eviction process. The response was silence for 2 weeks. Then, on the 29th day, a check arrived in my mailbox. It was for $3,000. No note, no apology, just my money. But the story doesn't end there. The new tenant who moved in, a young woman named Jessica, happened to be a friend of my girlfriend Clara. She told us Mr. Finch tried to charge her a premium apartment fee because it had been professionally decontaminated. Using my invoice as proof, she successfully disputed the fee, and armed with the knowledge of his tactics, she joined forces with the other tenants, Maria and Ben. Together, they formed a tenants association, using my case as leverage to force him to finally fix the building's problems. Mr. Finch thought his 7 little words would make him $2,000 richer. Instead, they empowered an entire building and cost him far, far more. He wanted the apartment to be spotlessly clean. And in the end, I was the one who took him to the cleaners. Have you ever used someone's own rules against them? We want to hear your stories of malicious compliance in the comments. And if you believe that the best victories are the ones won with brains, not brawn, hit like and subscribe to Hearts in Uniform. Your support is our arm.